amazing athlete, Jim Mannion, AMI, Steve Whitemerger, all these wonderful judges. Thank you guys so much. To my family for making it out here. Man, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, and I'm thankful for today. And yes, today that I was able to fight my way into something that I believe that I was going to be number 14.
And you are number 14. Only 14 men in history since 1965 have held this title. Some of those great names that you know, of course. And you just beat a hell of a champion in Phil Heath, a 7-time champion. Nobody thought he could be beaten, but you did it.
Yeah, I've been watching Phil since 2012, taking a lot of notes, and I know people might laugh at me when I say that, hey, one day I was going to be Mr. Olympia, but here I am, folks. This was probably my hardest prep ever, but I wanted it so bad. I'm thankful that I'm here.
Well, Shawn, look at that Sandow trophy down there. That's going to look really nice up on that mantle, isn't it?
I haven't even think that far, you know. This past couple of days has just been a roller coaster. You know, I have a great supporting cast, Chris Aceto, Psycho Fitness. My training partner make it to the Olympia for the first time, Stamina. And I'm gonna tell you, man, they beat the crap out of me these past couple of months just to get here. And to all you fans out here for your support. You know, every time I look and I hear someone said, Shawn is too small, Shawn is spending too much time with his family, Shawn looked like he's retired. But it's okay. We had a game plan and we stuck to it. And we found our way to come here. I did everything that I possibly could have can to look good this weekend.
Well, Shawn, you certainly did more than look good. You look great, and the judge is certainly rewarding that with an Olympia victory. Take me through yesterday. After prejudging, what were your feelings after you stepped off the stage?
To be honest, man, I walked out of here yesterday and I looked at Chris and I said, it's only Friday. You know, I know a lot of people had me, you know, winning or a close second, but I just looked at Chris and said, it's only Friday, Chris. We still have Saturday, let's just focus on today. And that's what we did, one day at a time.
What did you think when you came here tonight for the final, Shawn? Did you think you had it? Did you think Phil was going to eat you? We all know Phil comes back better on Saturday, so you knew you had a battle coming up tonight. But what were your feelings? Did you think you had it?
Listen, guys, Phil is no slouch. I've been chasing him since 2012, so I know in the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, you know what, he's missed a Saturday night. He could come in here and he could look his all-time best. But again, I looked at Chris Aceto and Chris said, hey, you know what, Shawn? You'll be better than you were yesterday. And if that man believed in me, I'm good.
All right, Shawn Rhoden. Right here in the center, I want you to hit your first pose as your new 2018 Mr. Olympia. I'll have you know that was not easy to get back, Shawn.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, 14. I don't even want to use the word lucky. This was earned, Dan, the hard way.
And please help me in celebrating your new Olympia champion, Shawn Rhoden.
Shawn Rhoden, as we've known through the years, is a man of few words. He lets his physique do all the talking. He did just that tonight, and it took 54 years. We have ourselves a 14th champion.
By way of Jamaica, this is a guy that took 7 years off of bodybuilding to care for his ailing father who passed away, came back, turned pro by winning the North America Championships, and slowly started to serve notice by winning the Arnold Classic over in Spain. Just came out, got second runner-up here, and now he became the Buster Douglas of modern-day bodybuilding by knocking out the reigning defending champion. And here's our top 5 leaderboard from the Mr. Olympia.
Shawn Rhoden wins it. He defeats the defending champion, Phil Heath, and Willie Winkler. Of history. You know, we give these interviews every year where we get to stand here and talk to the winner of the Mr. Olympia. It's one of the great privileges, one of the great things that I get to do each and every year is talk to the #1 bodybuilder in the world in the moments after an Olympia is settled. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Shawn, never in a million years did I imagine that I'd be standing here talking to you as the greatest champion. Having said that, when you walked out tonight and what you presented last night and again tonight, it was extraordinary. The fans around the world agreed with the decision. You delivered something remarkable. You bounced back from a year ago where you were off and you talked about some of those trials and tribulations going into last year's competition. And in one of the more improbable turn of events, you have won a Sandow Trophy. You are the 14th man to do so. So for that, we congratulate you on an extraordinary achievement.
Thank you. It's, wow, haven't sunken in this yet, but it's been a long, long year from last Olympia. Broken jaw, mouth wired shut, had to eat to a straw, had to blend all my food. Still able to fight my way to the top 5 last year, and I started my prep this year for the Arnold Classic, ended up with 2 bleeding ulcer, and 8 blood transfusion, had to pull out the last couple of weeks. And I wanted to make a statement for this year's Olympia, and when I told people it's going to win the Olympia this year, a lot of people kind of laughed at me because I looked like I was about to be retired. But I have a great coach, Chris Aceto, great training, Psycho Fitness 21, and a training partner that will never let me quit. Plus my family was always like, hey, you know what? Just focus.
Let's get down to brass tacks here. You beat a really good champion tonight. Phil Heath has done remarkably over the last 7 years, winning this title, and he came in very confident this weekend. He thought he had this thing coming into the competition. You were very confident, as we saw from the very early phases of the weekend. You came out here, took care of business. Talk about not what it feels like to be Mr. Olympia. Talk about what it feels like to defeat the great Phil Heath.
I've been on stage with Phil since 2011. It's a great feeling, man, because, again, Phil is no slouch. You have Dexter Jackson, former Mr. Olympia also, that were on stage. And I know these guys are 2 champion and they worked their butt off, and everybody was going to come in here firing in all cylinders. So Rolly Winkler and William Bonac moved up the chain this year. One thing that my coach told me is that, Shawn, just stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Just focus on what you need to do. The only thing that we need to do here for this year Olympia is to bring the best Shawn Rhoden ever. Because if you bring the best Shawn Rhoden ever, it's going to be very hard for anyone to beat you. And I believe.
You're also one of the oldest men to win this competition for the first time. I think Chris Dickerson may have been a year older. How old are you? You put out the number?
I'm 43.
43. I think Chris Dickerson was also 43 when he won the competition. So hopefully some of our historians out there will determine if you are the oldest to actually win the contest for the first time. How many more years?
I'll be back. I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, I do want to just put some perspective for you, if I could, before I let you run. The Olympia Winners Club is the most prestigious club in this sport. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, Dorian Yates, the Ronnie Colemans, Jake Cutlers. You are Phil Heath. You are in that club. No matter what happens for you going forward, no matter what happens to you for the rest of your life, you are forever a Mr. Olympia champion. Pick up that Sandow Trophy and show the world what you have just done. Remarkably, extraordinarily, impressively, and well-deserved. Shawn Rhoden, your 2018 Mr. Olympia champion. Any final thoughts before you get out of here and go eat?
Just want to thank my family for putting up with me the last couple of weeks. I miss my family, training in LA. You know, my coach, Chris Aceto, and Psycho Fitness. Thank you guys so much for continuing to believe in me when everybody else stopped.
And then there were 14. Shawn Rhoden, congratulations, our newly crowned Olympia champion. I think that's going to wrap things up here from Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena. Our coverage of Joe Weider's Olympia weekend has now come to an incredible close with the crowning of a new champion. They often say in this sport of bodybuilding, the most memorable nights are the nights where a champion is crowned for the very first time. And Shawn Rhoden, thanks to you, you have given us that moment. For all of us here, we appreciate the hard work of Robin Chang and everybody over at the Olympia production team, our director, Lou Zwick, my co-hosts, Amanda Latona and Hall of Famer Sean Ray. For our newly crowned champion, Shawn Rhoden, I'm Dan Solomon. Good night. Good.